Gemini, my twins. Here's your reading, Gemini, for September 2019. Let's go ahead and get the usual out of the way. So, Gemini, this reading here can be used for your Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and or North Node signs. And also, too, Gemini, the messages that you hear today that resonate, go ahead and apply them to where they fit, how they fit, and to whom they fit within your life, Geminis. They can apply to many different areas of your life, all at the same time. All right, Gemini, let's go ahead and hop right into your reading. So, for the heart of the matter here for you, you popped out here the King of Swords reversed. All right, Gemini, for what is outside of your control or outside of your delegation? Gemini, you popped out here the King of Pentacles reversed with the Two of Cups reversed. For what is within your control or within your delegation this month, Gemini, you popped out here the Queen of Pentacles with the Queen of Pentacles reversed with the Nine of Swords here as well. And for how you can improve this situation that you're going through harmoniously, you popped out here the Knight of Pentacles. Excuse me. And for what you have learned from this experience, Gemini, through going through it, popped out here the Nine of Pentacles. Really nice. I like this here. All right, Gemini. Some of you maybe could be dealing with possibly another air sign, Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius. Excuse me. Maybe possibly an earth sign, Virgo, Taurus, or Capricorn individual. Or maybe have any of that in your chart. All right, Gemini, let's see. Alrighty. Gemini, there's like communication. I just heard communication errors. Interesting. I just feel, Gemini, that during this time, like, communication is very sparse. Communication is very, like, I just heard hit and miss, or like a come and go type of situation. There's a real need and a real want to get down to the bottom of something, to get down to the truth of something, to really gain like clarity over or upon something. But there seems to be like a very harsh like presence or disposition behind actually going and wanting and trying to achieve this clarity. There's like a lot of like words of communication that are being kind of given and received. They're very harsh. They're very I just heard uncalled for. Interesting. All right, Gemini. But definitely trying to get down to the bottom of something and to get to the truth of something, but maybe forcing your way through that or into that. Gemini, what's outside of your control or delegation this month? Gemini, we can't expect other people, places, and things to show up for us the way that we want them to. Now, when I say that, Gemini, there's nothing wrong with setting a benchmark within our life. Absolutely, you know what I mean? And that lets us know in the other individual, person, place, or thing, whatever you're dealing with, it lets it or them know that you expect, in a sense, you expect a certain amount of respect, you deserve, okay, thank you, expect, you deserve a certain amount of respect, and that's your benchmark, and that's perfectly fine. That's identifying and knowing your worth, absolutely. But when we expect, Gemini, for someone, or something to show up for us the way that we want them to, that like breeds fear in a sense. And then that then kind of, it can, in a very interesting way, or in a very subtle way, it can lead to like judgment in terms of like this. Like if we expect an individual to show up the way that we want them to, and let's say that it's out of their means or that they can't, then that means that then it can lead to us casting judgment upon that individual, and vice versa as well. Hope that makes sense. Gemini, my guidance wants me to really speak about here the union, within ourselves, between the masculine and the feminine. I've been speaking a lot about this on our channel, but this is called the hierogamic union. And what this means, it's a sacred marriage between the masculine and feminine within ourselves. And when we have that union within ourselves, Gemini, when we use logic and intuition together, that kickstarts and that sets that balance between when we know when to apply our ambition and when to apply our intuition, when to apply, our get things done, go straight for it, and when to be receptive and when to hold back or when to take a step back. That's a very important thing, Gemini, for every human on this planet. That's the first step, in a sense, to ascension. You know what I mean? Where when we have that union within us, meaning a balanced out masculine and feminine within us, that's when the transfiguration of our physical body and our auric field actually occur. And within that process, Gemini, that's when we know how and when to use our intuition and when to use our logic. But if we can combine the two and use them together, you'll be unstoppable. You know what I mean? And I mean that in the most respectful and with the most spiritual integrity attached to that, So just kind of sum that up here, Gemini. What's outside of your control is you can expect other individuals, people, places, and things to come to you or to meet you the way that you would want them to. Especially, Gemini, if the masculine and feminine within you is not completely unified and isn't at an equilibrium, Also, too, Gemini, what is within your control or delegation this month? Gemini, it's really, I'm feeling like there's some limiting beliefs. There's something that's holding you back. It's a belief system, or beliefs within your system of, morals and ethics. It's like they need like adjustment, you know what I mean? Your perspective may need adjustment as well. And I feel like a lot of it may come from difficulties of uniting your masculine and feminine within yourself, And to Gemini, it's almost like what's within your control too is like you can control, Gemini, whether you, through these limiting beliefs, you have the control over you possibly smothering your sanity. Let's not smother our sanity. That's a choice. Feel the emotion. Don't get me wrong. When things happen, shit happens. You know what I mean? But let's not dwell in it, because when we dwell in it, that's when we smother our sanity, And also, Gemini, there's something here too where it's like fear. When we plead in fear, when we want and when we desire and we yearn for something or someone out of fear, that's when then we then send out to the universe and we then subconsciously tell ourselves that we are unworthy of that person, place, or thing. And within the process of that, we then receive exactly what it is that we fear. Okay, my guidance also wants me to tell you, Gemini, that within the fourth dimension, which Earth is in right now, within the fourth dimension, especially in dream state, our fears are used against us, and when we astral travel and when we are doing our grid work when we're asleep, our fears are used against us and they will manifest. So since Earth is in the fourth dimension right now, in my opinion, this is when, Gemini, our imagination becomes reality. And like our worst fears are starting to manifest, which is a good thing, because then, we move past them, we work through them, we move past them, and then we then tell ourselves, oh my God, I was scared of that for 10 years of my life and it held me back. So it's a growth spurt. But what I want to get back to the main point here is when we yearn for something and want something out of fear or to cling on to it, Gemini, that's when then we tell ourselves subconsciously that we are unworthy of that one thing. And you may just, be worthy of it, and you are. And also too, Gemini, like fear, I like to look at it as, false evidence appearing real. When we fear something, yes, of the unknown, absolutely. But it hasn't happened. When we fear an event, it hasn't happened yet. So how come we are scared of what hasn't happened yet? In a sense, Gemini, that's delusion, you know? Okay, my guidance wants me to leave it there for you. So yeah, so let me just sum it up. Within your control this month is you not smothering your sanity and you really looking at any limiting beliefs that bring and propagate fear, within the process of wanting to obtain it or wanting to achieve it. How you can improve the situation harmoniously, Gemini, is really, I feel like this month it's just about taking your time and really moving at your own pace and really understanding the importance of that. And I feel like within the process of you moving at your own pace, you will then understand how important it is to take that time out, not only for yourself, but to also request that, in a sense, or set that as your benchmark to, the person, place, or thing or situation you're dealing with, and see how they or it reacts to you. And then you have your answer right there, whether to continue moving forward, with that. But how you can improve it harmoniously here is just taking your time and really understanding how important it is to show up for yourself. And I mean, with the Nine of Pentacles here, with what you've learned from this experience, it's really good. Gemini, I feel like you're learning, or you have learned, what true abundance is, where it's like abundance, where we achieve abundance without regret and without shame. That's when we reach, the Nine of Pentacles here, having everything that you need and what you really require. And it comes from that, Gemini, understanding abundance without regret and without shame. All right, Gemini, that completes your reading here for September 2019. Go ahead and visit intuitiveperceptions.com for all of your booking and services needs. You got this, Gemini. You be okay, alrighty? All right, Gemini, as always, God bless and love and light.